in our work. And right now, the Commission is working on what is called an integrated peace-building strategy. And the point of this is that, as I said before, peace building has been done in many ways through the UN system for many, many years, but it has not been so coordinated. And also, both in Sierra Leone and Burundi, various efforts have indeed been taking place, and not least through with assistance of both the World Bank and the UNDP. You have had poverty reduction schemes and strategies for a long time. And when we now talk about peace building and consolidating the post-conflict situation, we must obviously not try to duplicate what already has been done, but we must plug the holes, if you will, find the gaps, and do that additional effort needed to produce that glue that's going to keep these countries together and preventing them from falling back into conflict and civil war. So right now, what our ambition is to, by this summer, to develop together with the government a good strategy, a reference document that will in fact assign tasks to the UN system, to the international financial institutions, and to bilateral donors, and including civil society organizations, so that we can have a well-coordinated approach and do the job right. And in preparation of this, in fact, in a few days' time, I will again go back to Burundi. I was there last year as well, and we will have a delegation on the Peace Building Commission on the road in a fairly short time, in order to continue to work with the government and define our role and find out exactly, to make sure that we can help them in an optimal manner. The introduction tonight suggested that the Peace Building Commission isn't doing anything, and I hope that I have countered that argument. And despite what's being said, I am continue to be an optimist. Certainly from the Norwegian point of view, we are in this for the long haul. We have just, I'm not going to be chairman of the Burundi format in the Commission forever myself, but somebody else is eventually going to take over. But Norway as a country, we are committed to do whatever we can to assist Burundi in this case. In fact, we are establishing a small embassy in Burundi this spring in order to assist in that process. We have also bilaterally started up a bilateral aid program to Burundi, and we'll try to work with them together with other donors so that this indeed can be a success. But success certainly is not assured. It has to be worked at, and in a very concerted manner with a lot of different stakeholders. Again, I think it's, I will come back to the need to do more in terms of transfer resources for development, and also to empower the government to do the job. It won't help Burundi or Sierra Leone, anybody, for us in New York to talk about peace building if they don't have the money to pay the nurses, pay the teachers, and find jobs for ex-combatants. These are very real problems, and when the economy is at rock bottom, it goes without saying that the international community has to do more in terms of transfer of resources. And again, in the case of Burundi, I'm hopeful that we will make some inroads later this spring in this respect. We are going to have a very important international donors conference in Bujumbura, which is the capital, in late May, and the Peace Building Commission is very supportive of that. And hopefully after that conference, Burundi will be given an extra hand in trying to solve some of the problems that they are indeed trying to solve. And in this respect, again, the World Bank has been very helpful, very supportive, and indeed provided mechanisms to expedite various kinds of support to Burundi. For example, such a thing as budgetary support, direct budgetary support, which in fact Norway and also some others have decided to give. So it goes, which is not the preferred method of giving aid, because most donors would like to, for reasons of oversight and control back home, you will want to give that money through maybe projects that you can sort of know what's happening. But in some cases, and in fact in many cases, I think donors today realize that you have to change your own ways. You have to trust the government, you have to work with the government, and you have to empower the government. You're not doing that by you yourselves insisting on control. You have to give them the resources and then make them accountable to you afterwards. And so this is being done with the help, again, with the help of the World Bank. And it is one of the signs that I think Burundi may eventually turn a corner, because I think people are understanding their situation and ready to help. So again, what I intend to do was to maybe give you more of a concrete case for that, and if you have questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them. As I was invited to also comment on other issues, I'm ready to do that if you have questions on other issues. But I wanted to concentrate this on the Peace Building Commission, because it's a new effort at the UN. It's a commitment by the UN to do better in a very concrete and very crucial area. We are not there by far. It's going to take a lot of work and effort, but if the UN can integrate itself, can integrate the rest of the international community, we will eventually also take on other countries out there, countries which today are struggling, countries like, for example, Nepal, Timor-Leste, Haiti. These are all countries where I think additional efforts are needed internationally in terms of peace-building efforts, and of course there are many, many others. And so I have no doubt that if we do well, which we must, that peace-building over the years to come is going to be an important hallmark for UN involvement around the world. And so with good donor efforts by Norway, by the United States, by other rich countries, this could be a very important endeavor and potentially very successful to the benefit of the countries themselves. So again, I thank you for your attention, and be more than happy to answer questions that you might have.
Thank you very much. A lot to think about, and we'll take questions from our students, especially. Yes, over there.
How would you grade the United States on human rights?
Well, I'm not sure how to approach that one. I think that the U.S., as you know, has been a very important supporter of human rights through the former Commission on Human Rights in Geneva. Now, the U.S. has not presented its candidature. They are not on the new Human Rights Council, which was another body established during the summit in 2005. I consider myself U.S. still a very important supporter of human rights around the world, and although there have been and the fact that you have in this country a very intense discussion on U.S. performance in itself is a healthy sign, and all countries can do better. Also, even in Norway, we have discussions of whether we are doing the right thing in terms of supporting human rights or not, and how we should do it. What